The major problem with women, especially in polygamy, is provision. What the husband is going to provide. Joyce is not that category of women who is looking to the man for provision. Joyce owns 50% of the company or more. Her father started the company. So she's self-sufficient, if I'm going to put it that way. So she's not fighting because of the wealth or what she's going to eat or what she's going to use to feed her children. That's not a problem for her. All Joyce, the only thing Joyce actually wants from Jonas was
Today, we're discussing the biggest gist online, a South African series called The Polygamist. In the last 2 weeks has been trending. Everyone is talking about it. I think it would be really interesting for a couple like us to discuss it for various reasons. I grew up in a polygamous family, and we both came together as a couple, and our experiences are definitely different. And the movie also opened up quite a lot of kind of worms. There have been various perspectives. People talking about how, for those of you who have not watched it, let me be a spoiler for you, but Jonasi was this promiscuous husband who had the first, second, third wife, second wives, had a young girl he was dating. And obviously the story is about the resilience of his first wife, or his second wife, I would say. These women around him seemed to, they lived for him. And the conversation has been around, how does this translate to today? How do we, especially as women and wives, how do we see the story? What do you think of the story? I'd really like to hear your comments when we post this on YouTube. But first, let me come to Brown to hear his thoughts about the series, The Polygamist. What are your general overview about The Polygamist?
okay. For me, no, I wouldn't want to touch anything related to xenophobic South Africa, because the fact that we are talking about it is where oh yes, let's call it spade a spade. They've not been fair to Nigerians, and because of that, normally I shouldn't talk about them. But the lead director, Akiomotosho, is a quarters boy. So that's why I just decided to just, let me just let things pass.
Claim to be part of the series.
No, I'm not laying claim. It's the simple truth. The lead director is a quarters boy.
You know him, Joe?
Of course, I know him very well. We grew up together.
Quarters.
Yes. So, but from an aesthetic point of view,
Right.
It's a great series. Well done, well produced. Everything was done very well.
Let's talk about the story now.
Okay.
The characters, Jonasi, Joyce, Matipa, Essie, Lindani, Menzi, Mpume, the whole works.
Honestly.
And by the way, I had to get Brown to watch it because he hadn't watched it before. And I said, we're going to be talking about this thing next week. Because I watch it. I think I forced you to watch it, but 2 days ago, I think it was yesterday, you even watched it. What was your favorite character?
My favorite character would most likely be Joyce.
Yeah.
Because
I know you like Joyce.
I like Joyce because she's a good woman. She endured a lot. She tolerated a lot. And eventually, she did what she felt she had to do. And to a large extent, I agreed with the choices she made. That was extreme. That was the only bad thing I would say she did. She tried the first time. The second time, she succeeded. I think when it comes to that, then eventually when Essie went to steal the body to go and bury, I liked the way Joyce approached it. Went there with police, got the body and, buried her husband in her own way. But you see, apart from the movie, let's look away from the series and look at the issues, the real issues in the movie as it applies to real life. What exactly is the gain of polygamy for mankind, for the man, for the woman? What exactly are we looking for? Who exactly is available to polygamy? Who exactly can actually participate in it?
Or
benefit from it. So these are things I think we should look at very well. For me, Jonasi would have been a great character but along the line, he became really corrupt. The saying is, power corrupts, absolute power corrupts, absolutely. Eventually, he became really, really depraved. He became a real reprobate. And I didn't like that about him, but he started quite well initially, though he made initial mistakes that a lot of young men might make. But at the end of the day, he went downwards and it changed for the worse, and eventually led to his death.
But if I tell you that a lot of people believe that Jonasi is very familiar, many men, especially African men, are like Jonasi, what would you say to that?
I don't agree. You see, in a normal relationship, whether one man, one woman in normal nuclear marriage, one man, one woman, or even in an office relationship, man to women, normal human interaction, it is always good to be a kind person, to be a sensitive person, to be a considerate person. You see, if you have all these qualities of kindness, being sensitive, humility, peaceable, peace-loving, eventually, even if you go into polygamy, it will play out in your polygamous life. And your polygamous life will not be as toxic as if you are actually a mean person. Jonasi,
so your issue with polygamy is not the fact that it exists, it's like the fact that it's not properly, it's being carried out by toxic people or people who are unkind.
You see, polygamy by its nature, right, has a tendency to cause people to become toxic by its nature, the nature of polygamy, because naturally, polygamy contains envy, it contains jealousy, it breeds bitterness, naturally, by the nature of polygamy. Now, if toxic people now get into it, it becomes worse, so much worse.
But there are some people that have had equitable polygamy.
When you say that, what you have called equal treatment, equitable treatment, still falls under kindness. Because a mean person doesn't care. For example, in an organization, they say there are 6 slots, and you give 5 slots to people from your village. Nepotism. That is toxic. That is going to breed a worse situation. So in polygamy, if you are kind, you pay attention to everybody's need, and you try to meet them at their point of need to the best of your ability. And in situations where you can't meet it, you are open and you explain to them, giving them valid reasons why you cannot meet their expectations. Everybody's understanding.
So that means, Brown, that you're not against polygamy. You just said that polygamy, therefore, should only be carried out by people who are kind. Because that's what you just said.
Sweetheart, you see, I'm a Christian man. In this conversation we're having now, I'm not holding the brief for the Christian man, because the Christian man is out of the market of polygamy. Completely out. So everything I'm saying to you, I'm saying it as a non-Christian.
Okay. Orthodox.
Those people, those Christians who practice polygamy, they're on their own. I am not going to encourage that. I totally frown at that. That is completely wrong from my own belief system. But I'm talking as a normal man, how nature has made us, right? I'm not frowning at polygamy, but you see, you have to do polygamy with common sense. Are you with me? First of all, a toxic woman, whether in a polygamy or not in a polygamy, is a toxic woman. Are you with me? A kind woman, whether in a polygamy or not in a polygamy, is a kind woman. Your nature will come into the polygamous marriage, regardless of whatever. Your true nature will come into the polygamy. And once that happens, if everybody is good, a kind man is lucky to have a kind first wife, a kind second wife, a kind third wife. Believe me, everybody is going to be happy.
So my question, Brown, is,
yes,
what is wrong with men who are like Jonasi? You know, first of all, you meet a woman while you're in school, you get her pregnant, you actually marry her, right? You abandon her because you want to go to the city, better life. You meet the wife, the daughter of a wealthy person, you get a better life, you forget that one, and you're not, you're not open and truthful to the one in the city. And then you have a good life, and eventually you decide, oh, I have enough, you are easily seduced. What's the man's problem?
Don't define, that is not the definition of a man.
Okay.
That is the definition of a wicked man. That is the definition of a dishonorable man. That is the definition of a selfish man, an untruthful man. That is the definition. Now, let me tell you how I would have played it if I was Jonasi. I married my first love in the village, right? And I now drifted to the city. I now found an opportunity with a city girl. At the time you are involved with the city girl, look, if you play your cards well and the city girl really loves you, you can actually tell the city girl from the beginning that, look, city girl, I have a wife in the village. Because this city girl is not totally averse to polygamy, because the South African setting where this story emanated from is familiar with polygamy. It is not a strange thing. When you are talking about West African countries, the Middle East, and South Africa especially, polygamy is widespread. Yes, maybe not the majority of the population, but polygamy is something they know. You can't try that in America or Europe or Australia. You are going to prison immediately. It's a criminal offense to be married to one person and now go and marry another. But it's not like that in South Africa. Joyce must have seen polygamous people around. Maybe one of her uncles was a polygamous man. So now you are in love with this young man that you like. It is okay if you open up to the woman, to Joyce. Say, Joyce, I get wife for village. Oh, if you want to go ahead, go ahead. That means you guys will be two. But assuming you couldn't even do that, because before you get into any marriage, the basic thing that is expected of any spouse, whether the man or the woman, is full disclosure of anything that could affect the marriage. For example, if you know you have low sperm count, you have always known all your life that you have low sperm count. The first thing you need to do to the person you want to marry is to disclose. Say, madam, I have low sperm count. Oh, can you still marry me? Madam, I have HIV. Can you still marry me? You disclose, because that can actually be a basis for divorce. When you withhold information, important information, and you now go into a marriage, and along the line, your spouse discovers the information you withheld, it could be a ground for divorce.
For me, going back to Jonasi.
Yes.
I mean, you're entering the city. You have a lifetime opportunity to get a job at a big company that you never had access to.
Yes.
Maybe because of your brilliance.
Yes.
And then the daughter of the owner loves you, you know. So these are opportunities that come once in a lifetime.
Yeah.
And you don't want to lose it. And this girl is totally in love with you.
Okay.
You wouldn't want to disclose to her.
Okay. So now let's assume that you did not disclose and you lied to her. You led her to marry her. You never disclosed that you had a wife in the village. After the marriage, what stops you from telling her the truth after the marriage? Maybe a year after the marriage, that, look, madam, I have a wife in the village. What stops you from doing that? At the worst case scenario, she will file for divorce. In the course of filing for divorce, you can beg, you can plead, you can manage things and patch things up. And she realizes that there is a woman in the village. Because for the kind of person Joyce is, Joyce could easily have accepted, because Joyce accepted the twins from, what's her name? Matipa. Joyce took the twins because Joyce reasoned with Matipa. This is the situation this woman is in. And besides, you see, the major problem with women, especially in polygamy, is provision. What the husband is going to provide. Joyce is not in that category of women who is looking to the man for provision. Joyce owns 50% of the company or more. Her father started the company. So she's self-sufficient, if I'm going to put it that way. So she's not fighting because of the wealth or what she's going to eat or what she's going to use to feed her children. That's not a problem for her. The only thing Joyce actually wants from Jonasi was attention. Attention, love. Jonasi could have easily given that even without a lot of sex, if he's still a serial philanderer that he's always been. But just give her attention and give her respect. Because, look, A woman requires respect. And it is not difficult to give a woman respect. It is not difficult to give a woman attention. It is not difficult to connect with a woman, relate with her like you relate with your friends. Pay attention to her. That's all Jonas needed to do.
So let's pack these guys for a minute and let's bring it home.
Yeah.
Many of us, especially Nigerians, our parents were exactly either Jonasi or Joyce. Some of us, our parents were Matipa. Some of us, our parents were Essie. And these are our realities.
Absolutely.
Many of us grew up in this kind of with this kind of complications, where your father is cheating with somebody, or they abandon one daughter. They find out about the child years after. Our mothers were Joyce personified. Now, with that information, how do you think we can redress what our fathers have done? Especially because, what do you think? How would you think they could have played out better?
Sweetheart, what you just need to preach to the men is, don't be toxic. Jonasi was a toxic man. I will tell you, at a point in time when there was friction between Jonasi and even his elder brother that had always covered for him, Magesh was his name. Do you know immediately there was an issue? He went to give instruction in the company to lock him out.
Yeah.
That's a wicked man. Do you understand? If a man is not wicked, if a man is kind, if a man is humble, friendly, and peaceable, Morayo, it is only the wicked woman that will want to kill him. The peace-loving woman will manage the situation and be happy in that situation. Jonasi was bad. Not all our parents were like that. I'm not from a polygamous family because my grandfather was heavily polygamous. The blueprint of my grandfather's life, his whole history, the details of his life, my father gave me on a platter of gold. My father took time to lecture me about the life of his father. And that was why my father resolved never to have a second wife. That was why my father remained a nuclear man.
But was there a Lindani in your father's life?
Sorry? There were a few women, but none of them graduated to the point of having a child or to the point of becoming his second wife.
So what women today are saying, because we are all products of the Matipas, the Jonasis, the Joyce, and we're saying many of us are damaged somewhat because we witnessed these things of our parents. We saw, many of us are Mpumes, many of us are Menzi, and we saw these things happen. A lot of men's promiscuity today is as a result of what their father did. So today, what this series is teaching a lot of people, especially my own generation, is we need to heal, because we have not totally acknowledged the pain that we actually experienced growing up with these kind of experiences that we saw in this movie.
Sweetheart, not everybody had your experience. Your experience is peculiar to you and the people who had a similar experience with you. Do you understand? But you see, I don't know how your kind can heal.
It's not about me. I'm talking about women in
people
general.
who experienced what you experienced. Maybe you are the where would you put yourself?
I'm not going to talk about myself in this situation because
do you
you're going to drag it out of me.
So I don't know about that, but let's address this thing holistically, generally. Polygamy. What's in polygamy? What's the gain for the man? What do women want in polygamy?
Equity. See, it's right, Brown.
Sweetheart,
me.
Sweetheart, wait. You didn't get my question.
Okay.
My question is, in the first place, why are you going into polygamy? Is the question.
Security,
why does a man want to go
welfare,
into polygamy? Why does a woman want to go into polygamy?
A man, see, because a man, for example, I know that, for example, my mom. My mom was somebody that she was a very ambitious
Your
woman.
mom did not go into polygamy. Your mom was first wife, please.
Listen, my mom was first wife.
Yes.
But my mother, I'm telling you the reason why I think my father went. Because my mother was a very ambitious woman, businesswoman. She loved to do her work. My father's second wife was somebody that was very much, she was a caterer. She liked to cook. She had these exotic menus she used to cook. So there were two different kinds of women that had two different kind of strengths. So a man can say, okay, this one, I like her ambition. This one, I like the fact that she loves to cook. I can have two different women. So men can go into polygamy for different reasons. But I'm saying that even, for example, if you say that, if you're a polygamist,
Yes.
me, I don't even mind you being a polygamist.
Yeah,
Personally,
okay.
I'd rather you be an equitable polygamist where what my children get is equal to whatever it is you are giving, or just make sure that my children don't suffer. I don't. If you want to have a second wife tomorrow, I think as a Yoruba girl, I have been conditioned or raised to believe that at some point your husband might or might not. Either way, we are ready. Bring it on. But all a woman is asking for is equity. Don't treat me or forget the foundation of how we started and totally dismiss the role I played in your life. That's what I think every woman who is into polygamy is asking for, equity. And I'm not sure that's exactly what happened with Essie. Essie didn't get the attention. Her daughter didn't get the attention. Joyce was obviously afraid of this person taking over the joy she has built, having a new house, giving up the other house they have to this woman and her twins. And then some silly girl comes up. So the point is that I'm not totally against polygamy, but I just believe that polygamy should be done equitably.
The first thing I told you, that equity, doing things equitably, comes under kindness.
Yeah.
First of all, a man, you see, if a man must never forget where he's coming from. A man must never forget where he's coming from. I mean his history. And when I'm talking about where you're coming from, everybody you meet on the way, the role they played in your life, who they were to you, you must never forget it. Is one fundamental rule that my dad gave me. You don't repay kindness with wickedness. Every relationship you have, take it importantly. Any relationship you can't take importantly, avoid it. Don't start it in the first place. Now, it was with Essie. Essie was the product of natural love. Are you with me? Natural first love, when it wasn't about leverage, when it wasn't about strategy, when it wasn't about scheming or social climbing. It was natural. There is a place for such a love. It is a wonderful type of love. And the man should cherish it. Anybody should cherish it. Jonasi should have cherished that. Even when things changed, Jonasi should have remembered that that was the beginning. Now, the scheming, the strategic kind of relationship he had with Joyce, Jonasi should never have forgotten that Joyce played a role in his rise, in his success, and all that. So everybody who has shown you kindness over the years.
In fairness to Jonasi Brown,
yes,
he took care of Essie. He made sure they were well fed and he raised his child. Just like he didn't bring her into his main family. He did his own part, because a lot of African men believe that once I provide a house for you, I feed you, I don't need you. I mean, I can keep you where you are. And whenever I need you, I'll come for it. There's a lot of problems that many of our fathers.
It shouldn't be like that. Even if you can't be having a romantic relationship with the mother, if you are sending the wife in the house, if you are sending the kids to Yale, send those kids to Yale. Give them equal opportunities when it comes to education, when it comes to exposure, when it comes to travel, when it comes to benefits and opportunities. Give them equal exposure. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to create an everlasting problem. In polygamy, there is what I call an everlasting problem. The problem you don't foresee today. The problem that lingers on for years even after you are dead. And this is the problem. In the case of Jonasi, Essie and Joyce are sworn enemies. Assuming the kids, Sarah, Essie's kid, assuming she was bold enough, she was hateful enough, she was a toxic person, she will have hated the other kids forever. You see, hatred that comes from polygamy, especially from polygamous children, Morayo, it doesn't end. There was a particular woman that my father had a relationship with. Till tomorrow, my father has passed. Till tomorrow, when I see the kids of that woman, I don't say hello to them. I just keep quiet and I move on. Because at a point in time, their mother caused a lot of pain for my mom. My father never married her. She never had a child for my dad. I just detested her children, her descendants. If I see her great grandchildren, I will still show resentment towards them. It is like that. That is it, and it is now worse in polygamy. It could be transgenerational. So you need to handle it carefully. If you give them equal opportunities, you try to make everybody understand as a good man that, look, this is what you are. This is what you are to me. You are equal in my eyes, and I'm giving you equal opportunities. You are going to mitigate that feeling. You will reduce it seriously. It will still be there, but it will be highly reduced. But when you treat some like second class and you treat some like special, believe me, you have sown the seed of perpetual enmity that the battle will continue after you have long gone. So,
I know when I made a post about this thing, I think last week.
Yeah.
And I was saying that I was congratulating Joyce because I feel like Joyce was very familiar. And I said something about, I understand. She claimed back her power when she killed that guy. And, somebody now said, are you saying that it's okay to kill a husband? Are you going to Mr. Brown? Are you going to... First of all, Mr. Brown is not a Jonas. Thank God for that. But I know a Joyce, somebody very close to me that I know. She was a Joyce. She had an Essie. Her own Essie was never married to her husband. Her own Essie was like they had a love child who also had identity issues like Sarah. And this child was denied by this person's Jonasi for a long time. Eventually, the Joyce in this story was able to bring the Sarah home, insisted that no, this child must be brought home with your own family, and so the Sarah in this picture never really had a bit of the identity crisis, but eventually was absorbed into the family. And then this same Joyce that I know had a Matipa. Matipa in this her own story came one day, had a glass cup, threw it at Joyce's face in Joyce's house. And she had bruises all over her face and had pictures. And she took pictures and evidence. There was some kind of rancor that happened. And it was so painful because the Joyce in the Polygamist was a very vocal Joyce. The Joyce in this story wasn't talking. I'm going somewhere, Brown. She was a very quiet Joyce. She took in all the negativity. She took in all the bash, all the embarrassment. The fact that the Matipa in her own story was very vocal, very well liked. Was a party person, just, people loved her. And she had all the support. And this Joyce just kept all the pain. Even to make it worse. A lot of drama. I don't want to go into too much of the drama that happened with this Joyce. But even after her Jonasi died, we found out about the Lindani. This Lindani had a child who was met during the funeral. Now, thank God, the Umpume in this case, the Umpume, that the daughter of the Joyce, and the other children of this Joyce, gained a brother, which was fantastic. That's not even the story. What was so peculiar about this Joyce's story, Brown, is that even when Lindani's son was brought in, she didn't say a word. Now, before that happened,
Sweetheart,
there's a part I'm trying to reach here. The Mpume and the daughter of the Joyce I'm talking about, when she was younger, she found a picture of her father and a different woman with a baby under the bed. And she and her half-sister, her own Sarah at the time, saw the picture together. She now brought the picture to Joyce. Joyce initially looked shocked and then dismissed the kid. Go and mind your business. Why are you snooping around your father's room? But you know what? The other girl took picture to her own house, showed her mother, and the Matipa wasn't going to have what? took Jonasi to cleaners for that picture. But guess what? When Jonasi came back home, Joyce was still quiet. She didn't say a word. Now, what that communicated to the Mpume in this story is that it's okay for your husband to hurt you. Just keep quiet about it. And that's how we've raised more Joyces, even today. And which is the conversation I wanted us to have. Because even when Lindani's daughter, Lindani's son was introduced, Joyce was still quiet. She still accepted. And then Joyce is being praised as this fantastic matriarch. We love her. She stayed. She didn't leave. When the man was sick, his best time, he was with all these other people. He had several. Trust me, I know. But they brought him back to Joyce when he was sick, when he had a stroke. Joyce nursed him for 10 years before he eventually died. So the reason why I gave that story, there's a lot of unpacking that we need to do for many families in Nigeria. Because this thing happened, this thing that we saw, that we're all talking about, happened in many homes. And there are many informers. I'm looking for Polygamist part 2. That's what has happened to the Mpume, what has happened to Menzi, the other boy. They want to see the product of this Joyce that has been celebrated as a fantastic woman. She stayed. Oh, she's lovely. What exactly is the result? Those of us in this generation that we stayed in this kind of Jonasi toxic marriages. That's for me, is what I'm waiting for.
There's a difference between the Joyce in the movie and the Joyce you're talking about.
Yes.
The Joyce you're talking about doesn't have blood on her hands.
Oh, yeah.
The Joyce in the movie is a killer. Are you with me?
But the power is same. Sweetheart, the power, let me tell you the power. The power this Joyce I'm talking about had. Joyce took her power by doing that killing.
By killing.
This one took her power.
By doing what?
By taking charge of the funeral. That, I mean,
both of them took charge of the funeral.
I'm just saying, but this one didn't allow anybody. She was, and that's where she created more enemies because, how can she? She was like, no. She's like, nah, this is my moment. Nobody else was here.
She didn't take any power. She did not take any power. If I'm not mistaken about the Joyce you're talking about, she didn't take any power. The society gave power to her because the society appreciated that she nursed her Jonasi for 10 years.
Yeah.
When all the Lindanis, all the S's, all of them departed, they left the sick Jonasi with Joyce.
Yeah.
And this Joyce took care of the Jonasi for 9 years. The society was watching. The whole of Nigeria was watching. The whole of Lagos State was watching. And at the time of death, everybody deliberately, consciously associated with her, recognized only her as the wife of the late Jonasi.
That trophy that women get. Like, oh, you stayed. You are the one we're honoring. Today's one is saying, I don't give a banana. I don't want anybody's trophy. I'm not staying because of that. I don't want to be part of that.
Don't say to this woman. Do not say to this woman. Because there are different types of women today. Okay. Some women will hold that view. Some women don't give a hue. Some of today's women will behave like a Lindani. Some of today's women will behave like a Joyce in the movie. So each person is his or her own way. So the Joyce you are talking about, there are people who will still behave like that today.
Many women don't want to behave like that anymore. Many women don't want to stay with the Jonasi just because they are the first wife. They don't want to stay there anymore.
Well, there are some who want to stay. Have you conducted an opinion poll? Or you have a statistics that you are relying on? If you don't have any statistics you are relying on, identify, acknowledge that there are women who will still be like that. And there are women who wouldn't be like that. Do you understand? But you see, let's look at the long-term effect. You see, I understand that this story of your Joyce is important to you. Your Joyce has behaved very well. Assuming the essay in the picture has the same character, similar to your Joyce, right? Assuming the Lindani in the picture has a character similar to your Joyce, how will it have been that all the women involved were all kind women, honorable women, peaceful women? All of them would have eventually cooperated on how to treat Jonasi when Jonasi was ill.
Your summation really is that kindness is the bottom line.
It is the bottom line. Be kind, be honorable, be honest, be open. Look, there is the only crime that cannot be forgiven. I'm not putting God in the picture now. Are crimes that are contrary to what is written in the criminal code, the penal codes of Nigeria. Any crime outside those crimes can be forgiven. Now, if you kill somebody, you will definitely go to prison. If you steal, you are caught, you go to prison, right? But if you marry a second wife without informing that second wife that you had a first wife, will anybody take you to prison? Mm-hmm. Nobody will take you to prison. So if they can't take you to prison, there is room for you to still beg. Beg the woman that, look, oh, sorry I did not inform you that I had a wife before. I am sorry for that. Please forgive me. Oh. Then find a way to come together and move forward.
Another thing a lot of men are not realizing that the decisions have a ripple effect on the children.
Absolutely. That's the real issue in polygamy.
And I mean, it's so sad that you have all these children and they grow up hating each other.
They will.
They don't talk each other. And these are people that can actually benefit from each other. And it's so painful. So I like what you said, that it's all about being a good person, because when you're a good person, even though you have 4 wives. Yeah. Because I know another polygamist who made sure that all his children were close. What he did was that I think it was 4 houses he had. All 4. The children were in the same house, had their 4 apartments. They go to the same school. He chartered a bus to take them all to school at the same time. They had the same lesson, all the extracurricular activities. They did it together. So the children to today are one. That was a man who was intentional about his polygamy status in life. But there are so many other men who were just very reckless in this approach. Yeah.
On this good man you just mentioned, that is how it should be. If you found yourself in polygamy, that is how it should be. From day one, all the children, separate them from their mothers once they are of age. Raise them like they're in a boarding school. Let them commingle, interact day in, day out. You see, the kind of bond they form in their early years, that is the bond that's going to remain with them for the rest of their lives. But you see, that is not even the best situation, because among those children, you will see one that is smart. You will see one that is not so smart based on genetics, right? Envy will creep in. Do you understand? Envy will surely creep in. You suddenly see the son of one particular woman is getting straight A's, and the son of another woman is getting straight E's and F's. It is not going to be the same. So for me, if I'm going to make any recommendation concerning polygamy, if you want to go into it, I said, no, do not go into polygamy. But if you are going to go into polygamy, first of all, your first wife must be significantly older than your second wife.
Why?
So that their children will not be in the same generation. If you marry one at 25, you can marry your second one at 50. You know why? So that the children of the first one will be like big brothers, uncles, and aunties to the younger ones. There can never be rivalry between them because they are not in the same generation. But if your first wife, you married first one in first year of marriage, by third year you married the second one, your house will be the house of commotion. There's nothing you can do to escape it. But you have the first one, you have consolidated in purpose. At times, before a husband and wife can consolidate in purpose, it may take 10 years before they even identify the purpose of the marriage. Before they identify. Now, once they identify that purpose, and both of them have keyed into it, right? And both of them are kind, nice people. If the man goes to marry a second wife, because of the purpose, the first wife will overlook, because there is a higher reason why they are together. And the man knows that that is the purpose. They are aligned. They continue to pursue their purpose together. This time around, sexual gratification has dropped to the lowest. If the man goes to marry another woman at that time, right, the children of the other woman will be like babies to the children of the first. So there is no competition between them. In practical terms, yes, your first wife becomes mommy wa. That's mommy wa. Now mommy wa is I want to sweetheart. And then we now take a matipa or somebody young and sexy, very, very attractive. Will now be the second wife. That's what you're saying. Morayo, if you continue to say like that, right, you are reducing the status of the first wife. You are diminishing the first wife, and you are making the first wife look unattractive. You are making the first wife look as if she's in a bad place. Are you with me? Because that's what you just said, that when our children are already older. Yes. So a younger person obviously looks more attractive, no doubt about that. So she is now mommy wa. Now, this mommy wa is the one you have purpose with, though. What? Mommy? Are you with me? This mommy wa is the one you have purpose with. So I'm telling you, Brown, that in our generation, I mean, when we were growing up, our mommy was where mommy was. But today's time, yes, the mommy was look like a Yenya Mukuti. The mommy was look like a Moabudu. The mommy was look like a Ketensho. They are older, but they look beautiful. So there's no mommy was now waiting for one fine babe to be taken to be the second wife for their husband. They are also looking good. They are just as attractive. They are looking good. They are looking good. Look, don't let us digress. Okay. We are talking about the options of polygamy. I'm making recommendations. Okay. So if you are saying there is no second wife, then let us end the discussion. So the discussion is in the best way for you to have a second wife is what I'm saying. And I'm saying that woman you're talking about doesn't exist anymore. Which one? That mommy was after you've had your wife for a while, if your children are not grown, you have not even allowed me to land concerning the mommy wa. Okay, go ahead. You've not even allowed me to land. Sorry, yeah, land. Mommy wa is the one you have the purpose with. Mommy wa is the one that shows up with you at every function you go to. Mommy wa is the one they recognize as the first lady when you become governor. Mommy wa is the one they recognize as the first lady when you become the president. You don't get it. What more does a woman desire beyond that? You are the one that the whole world knows. You are the one that the whole world is associating with, right? All the friends of the man, the friends from the days of his youth, they are friends with mommy wa. That's based. Are you with me? That's based on the kind of mommy. There is a popular. There's a matipa that does not give it. You see this matipa. The matipa will be pay when she has children to raise. Matipa that has school runs to do. Should Matipa not do her school runs? Should she leave her children and be gallivanting with Daddy wa? No, Matipa should not be gallivanting with Daddy wa. Matipa would demand what? Her position, because she what is her position? Because she's a young, attractive wife that can speak well. That is the impression a popular Lagos wealthy man has given you, and it is the other way around. Okay. A popular Lagosian, wealthy Lagos man has given you the impression that the younger woman takes over. Okay. She's the one that everybody sees in the camera. Okay. What if the first wife that you married was a former vice chancellor, a professor, highly classy, highly sophisticated? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Do you understand? What if it is like that? It is the impression you are having. Under normal circumstances, a second wife should not be the trophy wife, should not be the one in the photographs and everywhere. Well, usually they are. Morayo, if you have married a proper first wife, Babala first wife, they don't need the second wife. You can have second wife. What do you mean? What do you mean by that? You can have a second wife. Do you know the number of people who are like second wives? They don't even disclose in public. Should I shock you? Shock me. There are people, women, who are second wives. The man has undertaken to take care of them, all the children they give birth to, but she cannot dare go out in public to show that they are their wives. Do you know that they exist in Lagos? That the first wife, the one you call mommy wa, is so much in control that if you dare show your face, that would be the end of your life. Do you know that? A friend of mine was giving me a gist, a former director at NNPC. This man was toasting my friend. And my friend, the only reason why my friend didn't marry him was that my friend said she couldn't live in the shadows. The first wife remained in the limelight. and the first wife did not object, you can have your second wife, but that second wife must be in the shadows. There are first wives that are that powerful, and that's how it's meant to be.
So we're saying the same thing in different ways.
Because somebody has been flashing his young second wife, you not think every man does that? No.
Okay. So, anyways, we have to wrap this up because I guess for me now is I'm looking forward to Polygamist Part 2 because I'm very interested.
Leave the movie alone. Let us talk about real life situation. Forget about you are doing promotion for them.
Okay.
I'm not interested in promoting a South African product. They have been unfair to Nigerians. I don't send them. It's just, if not that Akinomoto is one of the directors, I would never have talked about the Polygamist. But I give it to that. But look, let us look at...
So let us now talk about the adverse effect of this relationship on these children. Because many of us are adults now, and the cycle seems to be repeating itself, where women or men that have experienced this kind of homes are either promiscuous themselves, or the women are living in silence in pain and they can't speak about it, or they feel helpless. They feel like they don't have options.
You see, under normal circumstances, a first wife should never feel helpless in a polygamy. Under normal circumstances, a first wife should be calling the shots. The kind of polygamy my grandfather practiced, the younger wives used to kneel down to greet the first wife. Even though...
Because she was Momiwa now.
Momiwa with Babala full control. Momiwa that everybody deferred to.
So we can still be Momiwa, but it can still be really hot, looking like Momiwa.
It is not about hot. You keep mixing it up. You keep talking about hot. It is about influence.
I understand.
Relevance. Do you understand? It's about influence and relevance. And like I propose to the potential polygamy, people going into polygamy, let your first wife be at least 15 to 20 years older than your second wife. So when your second wife is having children, she will face her children. She will get the money she needs. But when it comes to gallivanting, recognition, attention, mommy wa get all that. You don't share it, you don't negotiate it. That's my recommendation.
It doesn't usually work like that. Because, in modern times, a lot of men, you're meeting with, we are meeting with clients from all over the world. You want to put your best foot forward. And sometimes, for some mommy was, as you said, can be the MD of NNPCs. Those but there's some...
There are mommy was and there are mommy was. There are dodo your mommy was. And there are some mommy was that if they say that is your mommy wa, everybody will even be afraid of the husband. But if that is their mommy wa, even the younger wife will know it is an advantage.
We're saying the same thing in different ways.
Yes. So let's agree on that.
So then, to wrap this up.
Before we even wrap things up, I heard a popular preacher. I've been thinking that maybe it was AI. Because this particular preacher, an Ibadan-based Yoruba preacher, I like this Ibadan-based Yoruba preacher so much. The reason why I can't mention his name, because I think it is AI. But that AI work is powerful because it looks real. The preacher said, not every woman will marry a single man. A Christian preacher with a massive church, that there are women who will eventually get married to a married man, who will eventually become second or third wives. And the condition he gave, that if the man, in agreement with his wife, can come and seek your hand in marriage, pay the dowry, the bridal price and all that, then it is okay for you to marry a married man.
Would you marry a second wife?
Moriah, me? You see, I'm a Christian man, and I have already told you, that market is not for us. I have never...
This is a preacher you listen to that says, okay, this is a preacher you're listening to.
You see, that preacher, you see, let's go to where I'm going and leave me out of the picture. If you want me to be open and continue this conversation, leave me out of the picture. If you put me in the picture, I will keep quiet.
What the advice? Come on,
Eh?
no. What the advice?
No, of course, once any advice me for Kobabi. You can never do that for me again. Can you put me on the spot and I'll get it to I won't answer you. Do you get? But you see what this preacher said really made a lot of sense. That if a husband and wife can agree that they want to marry you, then you can go along with it. Let us now go to the statistics. A lot of women are single, marriageable. They have all the qualities of a correct woman. But only married men are toasting them, are showing any sign of seriousness.
Yeah.
What is their status in life? I've seen people. There are people I know today, they're in their 40s, single, drop dead gorgeous, but nobody's marrying them. And they are going to be like that for the rest of their lives. There's a sizable amount of women, number of women in that situation. What is the problem? What is the solution
so
to
if
that?
one approaches you,
Now,
would you like to
leave me out of the picture. I've told you.
Okay.
Look at, normally, Muslims are supposed to take care of all that, the Muslim men.
Yeah.
But if you look at the statistics of the prominent Muslim men, especially Yoruba Muslim men, they are beginning to behave like Christian men. They will just take only one wife. Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, one wife. Fashola. No, don't quote what you don't know. Don't say what you don't know. Those ones were it's different when you had a relationship with somebody and the relationship ended. It is different from polygamy. If you have children outside, can you say Davido is a polygamist? Davido is not a polygamist. Davido has only one wife. But he has Whiskey. Okay, doesn't even have a wife. They are not the same thing. Don't make the difference. Let me land and stop interjecting unnecessarily. Rauf Aregbesola. I'm mentioning it because I'm not committing a crime. I'm not damaging their name. I don't mention names when it is not a nice thing to say. Do you get? Now, a lot of Muslim men are looking up to this men that I mentioned, even include Femi Afolabi-Brown, the incoming. He has only one wife. The other younger Muslim men, they are taking a cue from that. They now want to start holding to one wife. That is a big problem for single women. When the Muslim men are sticking to only one wife, it is a big problem. Now, the Christian men are totally out of the picture. Now, these leftovers, will they remain single for the rest of their lives? That is why a lot of things need to be considered. Considering polygamy. I've said what I want to say. I'm not saying more than that. Finish.
So if I, Murayo, approve for you to get a second wife, would you do it?
Murayo, I have told you.
I'm asking if
no, Amy, Christian Amy. I'm saying, no, I accept you now threatening me that if you don't get a second wife, I will fight you tooth and nail. And if you say you want to fight me tooth and nail, we may now decide, okay, I can't be married to two women at the same time. Personally, advice me advice for me now. Okay. But I'm just making recommendations that if you are going to go into polygamy as a man, please don't let the age of your two wives be close to each other. I think on that note, we can close the show. But just in case it crosses your mind. Now what? For polygamy. For polygamy, you will go and find the girl yourself. And you'll be bringing them one by one until I approve. So when I approve, I will now marry. But you will go and find the girl and they will come and be doing auditioning to be second wife. Can you handle it? Sorry? Can you handle it? I will do everything to please you now. I have to please you. Hey, it is well, yo. See you next time. Bye.